Following Rotherham's 0-0 draw with Luton last night, we now know what the bottom three is going to the final day of the season. Will the current three get relegated, or will Derby join two of the bottom three and go down? Which one of those four teams will survive? Let's go and talk about it. What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I know I've done a previous video talking about the championship relegation debate, but I thought now for the fact it's near the end of the season, I thought it would be very appropriate to debate who I think in detail is going to go down, who I think is more likely to go down, and what is the current predicament of the bottom three as well. If you guys go on to enjoy, please make sure you do give this video a like, it's tremendously appreciated. We're so close to 500 subscribers as well, so if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and please share my channel to as many people as you can. All of that would really make my day. But without any further ado, let's go on and debate who I think will go down from the championship. So to remind you guys, this is what the current championship table looks like going into the final day. As you can see, every single team has played 45 games now. So this is a situation. The bottom three, we've got Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday on 40 points and Rotherham on 41. Now, the only team that could potentially go down now is Derby. They've got 43 points following a run of 6 defeats in a row. Derby are nowhere near safe. So the two games that are going to take place this weekend that are ultimately going to decide the fate of these teams is Derby at home against Sheffield Wednesday, so 21st going up against 23rd, and Rotherham having an away game against an in-form Cardiff side who have not lost in their last 5 games. So, before I move on in terms of the statistics of the sides and their chances of survival, I'll go over to Sky Bet now and we'll see who they are predicting to survive in the championship. So these are the odds that Sky Bet have in terms of staying up in the championship. And as you can see, Derby by far have much stronger odds than anyone. But interesting to note that Sheffield Wednesday, despite being one place lower from Rotherham, have better odds than Rotherham. That 0-0 draw with Luton has ultimately killed Rotherham's chances and everyone's optimism that they can survive in the season. Had they won against Luton yesterday, for a start, they wouldn't have been in the bottom three at this point if they'd beaten Luton. But alas, they got that draw, so it means that they definitely will be keeping an eye on Derby and Sheffield Wednesday. But what this means, for the fact they've got that 1 point, they need to get 3 points against Cardiff. But even if Derby and Sheffield Wednesday draw their game, it's not the end of the world for Rotherham. For the fact they got that draw, they can now match Derby on 44 points, let's say if Derby and Sheffield Wednesday drew, because Rotherham have got a much better goal difference than Derby. So, what needs to happen ultimately, Rotherham must hope that neither one of Derby or Sheffield Wednesday win, because it would automatically overtake them. But more ultimately, it's a must-win game against Cardiff. If they cannot get anything more than a win against Cardiff, then Rotherham will be down. But I think a lot of the attention is going to be on Derby and Sheffield Wednesday in particular as they play against each other on the final day. So right here is the current head-to-head record against these two sides. So as you can see, pretty even. 2 wins for Derby, 2 draws, and 2 wins for Sheffield Wednesday in their last 6 meetings. What I really want to pay attention though, that in the reverse fixture, Sheffield Wednesday picked up a 1-0 win over them. I remember this game as well. I think it was Callum Patterson that scored in the second half and Tom Lees assisted. So, Sheffield Wednesday managed to beat Derby before. If they can do it again, they've got a huge chance of staying up. But Derby, of course, they have got a 3-point advantage from Sheffield Wednesday, and they are at home as well. They have lost their last 2 home games. They did lose against Norwich, and I felt they were actually quite good at home against Norwich. That 2-1 defeat against Birmingham, though, I don't think was excusable, though. And they cannot afford to play like they did at home against Birmingham, like they do against Sheffield Wednesday. But one thing I'm scared about Sheffield Wednesday right now is their lack of goals. And the reason why I'm probably slightly going to edge Derby as my favourites to survive is for the fact that Sheffield Wednesday, I'm just not confident at whatsoever that they're going to get enough goals. They've not managed to score a goal in their last 2 games. Even when they picked up a win quite recently, it was only a 1-0 win over Blackburn, and arguably they should have scored a lot more goals. Sheffield Wednesday have only picked out one away win also in their last 6 away meetings. That was that 2-1 away victory against Barnsley. If they can pull off a miracle like that, then I would give Sheffield Wednesday a lot of credit that they've managed to pull them out of this mess. But right now, if I were to bet money on the teams who I think will go down, Wycombe will go down. I think Rotherham may go down as well. They may even go down in 23rd. But in terms of the other team, I think it will be Sheffield Wednesday, you know. I think it will be Sheffield Wednesday that do go down alongside with Rotherham and Wycombe. So that, I think, will be the bottom 3. So it means that Derby will survive this season. So before I actually end this video, I'm going to look at all 4 teams one by one from bottom place to the team who I think are more likely to survive and see how it's gone wrong for them. Why are they in this position? So we'll go with Wycombe first. Now, Wycombe have won 10 games all season. The biggest issue for Wycombe has been consistency. They've only picked up back-to-back wins twice all season in a 45-game season. So it's been a real issue for Wycombe to try and pick up a win. Of course, they lost their first 7 games as well, and we were thinking, you know, well, Wycombe going to be the worst side ever in the Championship. And it was as soon as they picked up their first win, you would then see the odd performance come in from Wycombe, and they just managed to get their form, I feel, way too late. The fact they cracked over 40 points has been fantastic for them as well. But I think another problem has been their goal scoring as well. Like, their top goal scorer is Uche Ikpeazu with only 6 goals. Their left back, Joe Jacobson, has 4 goals on his own. So their goal scoring has ultimately been what's been the problem. They've only scored 36 goals in 45 games. Pass rate percentage 54.1. And in terms of a rating overall, 6.5. I guess that's fair. And I think just the biggest issue has been Wycombe have probably felt a bit sorry for themselves and just felt a bit overwhelmed with the whole experience. If they were to really take teams by the scruff of the neck and make Adams Park a difficult place to go to, a bit similar to how Burton made the Pirelli Stadium a difficult place to go to for teams, then I think Wycombe would have had a chance. But I just think they found some consistency at home just way too late into the season. So I think that's been Wycombe's downfall. But I would love to see Wycombe back in the Championship, because I definitely think with the players that they got, they've definitely got something about them. We now turn to our attention to Sheffield Wednesday. Likewise with Wycombe, have had a real problem in goal scoring. Only 37 goals scored in 45 appearances, but only slightly more goals scored. But averaging less shots per game as well. Only 9.6 shots per game. Possession stats are quite similar. Pass rate percentage, pretty good, 70.4% actually. So it's been clear to me that Wycombe's passing has not been that great. Sheffield Wednesday's has significantly better pass rate percentage. Some of the poor passing I've seen their back line when they try and play out the back recently. I do question maybe the 70.4% pass rate percentage is a bit generous for this team. In terms of goal scoring, no player in Sheffield Wednesday has managed to crack over 10 goals this season. Josh Windass is the top goal scorer with 9 goals, and then you've got to look at Jordan Rose and Callum Patterson joint second with 7 goals. So having an out-and-out goal scorer has ultimately what has left Sheffield Wednesday down all season. I think Sheffield Wednesday were always going to have it tough for the fact they had their points deduction at the start of the season. They had the managerial turnover, they got rid of Gary Monk, and of course they got Tony Pulis sacked after he only had 10 games in charge. Then they had Joe Thompson in charge. Then eventually they got Darren Moore in, and unfortunately for Darren Moore, he's been ill as well. So it's been a very tumultuous season for Sheffield Wednesday. But if they somehow survive, then I say it's the ultimate escape of great escapes. It'll be absolutely unbelievable. And then to the team who had the biggest opportunity to get out of this mess, Rotherham, they find themselves only scoring 43 goals in 45, substantially more goals scored compared to Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe. So goal scoring hasn't been too much of an issue for Rotherham. And in fact, a lot of their problems has been down to very narrow defeats. I previously mentioned in the video that 19 of their 26 defeats all season have come in a 1-goal scoreline. And in those 1-goal scorelines, they've just not been able to be clinical enough in front of goal. With the amount of missed chances they have 11.2 shots per game. So they have substantially more shots per game compared to Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday, but only to crack 43 goals. It tells me that if they're more clinical going forward, then Rotherham can easily finish safely in the Championship. And I think defensively, I don't think they've been too bad either compared to the other teams as well. But actually, they've lost the most games in the Championship. which is ultimately why Rotherham are in this position. Pass rate percentage 59.4 is not great, so they can't really play out well, but they can create chances, which I think is a positive. 45.7% possession as well. And in terms of goal scorers go, Michael Smith is the top goal scorer with 10 goals, with Freddie Ladapo in a close second with 9. So they do have quite a few goal scorers that have been managed to get a few goals for them, but unfortunately it's just not been enough. There's literally have not been enough goals going on from other areas of the pitch. I think if you take away Matt Crooks and maybe Barlaser popping in with an assist or goal now and again, no one else offering any attacking threat has managed to contribute to any goal contribution. And I think that's been a big problem, really. I think Rotherham will go down, and it'll be such a shame because I think it will be 4 consecutive seasons of Rotherham yo-yoing between Championship and League One. But the fact they've got to beat Cardiff now, I think it's going to be very, very daunting. But also, if Derby beats Sheffield Wednesday, then it's impossible for Rotherham to survive as well. So they'll be hoping that Derby cannot beat Sheffield Wednesday. The fact that Derby can beat Sheffield Wednesday, if that happens, then the current bottom 3 will go down and they wouldn't even matter what result they get. And speaking of Derby, we go to them now. Now, they are the lowest goal scorers in the league with only 33 goals. And I've said it right at the beginning that in the start of last season, when they had Philip Cocu, you know, they looked like they really struggled to try and get into his system. Then they added Wayne Rooney in and a couple of transfers, and all of a sudden things just started to click. But then it was almost like deja vu for this season, and they couldn't really quite get to grips with Cocu's system. They have been unlucky with injuries, to be fair. Tom Lawrence has been injured for a lot of this season. But despite that, it doesn't excuse with the amount of defeats that they've managed to sustain and the lack of goals that they've scored as well. Like, their top goal scorer is Colin Kazim-Richards with 8 goals. That's actually the second lowest top goal scorer out of the 4 teams. Sheffield Wednesday have got a goal scorer scoring more goals, and Rotherham have got 2 players scoring more goals than their top goal scorer, which is Colin Kazim-Richards. And to put in perspective, the second top goal scorer only has 3 goals, and it's a tie between Graham Shinney, Tom Lawrence, Lee Gregory, and Martin Waghorn, all only scoring 3 goals. I mean, I'm sorry, but looking at someone like Martin Waghorn, the quality that he has to only score 3 goals this season, that is what has been Derby's biggest kryptonite this season. It's been their lack of goals, and that is why they are in this position as they are right now. And one thing that's not good for Derby as well is their goal difference as well. They've got a worse goal difference than they have with Sheffield Wednesday and with Rotherham as well. So they definitely don't have their goal difference to help, but what has got them to help, more importantly, has been their points total. So right now, a draw against Sheffield Wednesday will save Derby over Sheffield Wednesday, but they would have to hope that Rotherham cannot beat Cardiff. And that might be a possibility because Rotherham are playing a Cardiff side in good runs of form. So Derby may just play for a draw, but a win would guarantee them survival and the current 3 to go down. So it's all in Derby's hands. So after analysing all of these teams' forms and the stats that all of these teams have had, I will go back and say I think Derby will be the team on my edge who might survive this. I think just with the points they've got, I don't think the other 3 teams are going to overtake it. But I would love to be proved wrong. This championship season has been very, very dramatic. And one thing that will make it even more dramatic is that if we have a turnaround in a relegation battle on the final day of the season. So that's my relegation debate done and dusted. Everyone, make sure you comment your bottom 4 in the comments down below. And make sure you offer your opinions as well. I'll be very interested to see them. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure you do give this video a like. It's tremendously appreciated. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It would really, really make my day. We're nearly at 500 subscribers. We can even get to 500 subscribers before the score predictions this week. If we could do that, that'd be unbelievable. And please share my channel to as many people as you can. All of that would really, really make my day. I've got to thank CreeperBoy043 for sharing my channel recently on Instagram. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for the end of this video. And as always, take care, everyone.